So this is my game project. As you see here, the title of the game is Car Runner in the first panel, and there's three buttons. There is Begin, Rules, and Credits. When I go to Credits, there is me, my brother, and Mr. Kim. In Rules, you see here's how to play and what the objective is. So how to play is like answer the question to go some amount of distance. If you get the questions right, you go to the next level, and the levels will get harder and harder as you go on. The objective is to answer the questions right and beat the car. And begin, so there's these levels where you want to like set enable false. And level 1 here. So when I go to level 1, there's a timer, 20 seconds. So I don't want to lose, so I'm going to rush it. See, the scores are good. So they have timers. Who's the first president of the United States? George Washington. Was the first Java Code? That's Maine. So these timers are going and running and running. So like if I lose, then the orange car will go and the score will go up for the blue car. But since I won, it will go to the levels panel, and I will go to level 2, which is enabled true. Now when I go to it, there's a 30 seconds timer here. So pretend that I got this wrong, and the other car will go, and the score will go for the other car up. Now I want to get this right. What is the data type that I see for a decimal? That's double. What is the as the capital score? It's a city. That is Nevada. How many movies are there in Percy Jackson? I think that's 2. But yeah. So now, since I got this right, it will go up to 400. Now it's right 399, but it has to wait for a few seconds to get the thing right. And go to the next panel. But yeah. Now level 3 is enabled true. So when I go to it, it has time 40 seconds, and then now you see there's score. So present number that is different. So that is 71. Who is third president of the United States? That is Thomas Jefferson. How many seasons of Game of Thrones are there? I'm not sure about that one, but did Marcus Zuckerberg graduate high school? Yes. How many Hunger Games movies are there? There are probably 4. What language do you use in Mr. Kim's class? That is Java. So now, the longer so the levels that are right, there's like first level had 3 out of 5 questions he had to win. Second level is 4 out of 7. Then the third level is 5 out of 5 out of 9, and then this fourth level is 6 out of 11, and the fifth level is 7 out of 13. So these levels are basically like you have to win 7 questions out of 13 questions in the last level. So when I click on level 14, now there's a 50 seconds timer. Now I want to go. So if I get this right, wrong, then um, sorry, I will get this right, then the red car goes. If I get this wrong, then the other car goes. So you see the pattern here, and here, and then here. And what did the earbuds and Apple get released by? That is AirPods. Where's Barack Obama from? That is Hawaii. Who is the creator of Disney? That is probably Walt Disney. And then now you see that there's a score of 600 because you scored 6 questions out of 11. So that's why you are winning. Okay. Now this is a level 5. So this is one of the hardest levels in the game. So I created present numbers that is different. So now you see that there's 60 questions, right? And as you go, you will realize that that these scores are going up and the cars are moving. And how many seasons are there in Walking Dead? I'm not sure about that one, but what nationality is Mark Zuckerberg's wife? That is probably American. Where did Martin Luther get killed? That is Tennessee. How many Star Wars movies are there? That is 10. Who is the current CEO of Google? That is an Indian guy, so this guy probably. Which country has most volcanoes in the world? That is USA. Which is the safest country in the world? That is Canada. So now I scored 700, right? And the other opponent scored 200. So basically, I won 7. I won, and basically, I scored 7 questions out of 13. And you did see that pop up of you won, right? So I put that in every game, but yeah. So now you can play again or quit. You go to this screen, which is like basically the last screen of the day. You can play again or quit. I prefer to quit and go to my code where I can tell you what I did. So over here, this is my class game project. Over here, I just basically just declare everything I need, So I go to my constructor. I basically initialize all my buttons, all my panels, all my arrays which I need for my game, for my levels. Over here, I initialize my levels for I need for my game. These are for card layout. All these for card layout where I can just like tell them where to go after it's clicked. So front pick is the first panel. This has the buttons begin rules and credits. You see here there's credits here like add button fifth. So that is the back button. So I'm creating that. Writing rules. Writing rules is the method that I write all basically the panel where I write all the rules like how what to do, how to play the game. Over here, class ladder. Class ladder is basically the panel where I put all the levels, and the levels are all like expect level one is labeled false. So so uh, when I go to my game now, this drawing panel is extends J panel implements key listener and action listener. So in drawing panel is a class where basically I do all the stuff for the levels, and then from level one basically copy paste level one to level two, level three, level four, and level five, but just some things though. So over here you see that I basically added key listener. Basically uh, I've added the buttons using key listener. Uh, these are basically array. I just want them to like know what question to come or like what answer or what option. You see here there's a timer. This timer is for the number of seconds or yeah, the number of seconds. The class red mover. The class red mover is like your car. It's your car. Uh, this is your car and it will go this amount of distance 344 every time you get it correct, and then yeah, and then it will stop by it. Blue mover is basically the opposite car. This is basically every time you get if you get it wrong, then it will go 344 amount of distance and then stop. Scorekeeper is for the first one. It would be like it has to go from 0 to 100, and then it will stop. Score wiper is for the thing you get wrong, then it will go from 0 to 100 and then stop. Time down is for the timer actually. So now it goes for first level, it goes from 20 to 0, second level 30 to 0, fourth level 40 to 0, fifth level 50 to 0, and then sixth level 60 to 0. And then if timer 1 equals 0, then it will stop. Now I go to my pay component. Now all this stuff is just basically necessary because I draw my strings, I have everything. I basically if it equals 1, then I basically enable false like the buttons so that you can't click it anymore. And then I basically just string U1 and then yeah. And if you lose, then I enable false all the buttons and I draw you lost and then go to the game over panel. Um, Now these are all for like the lines. This is for uh, drawing the images, getting the cars onto the panels. Now this method is for the timers where I basically implement it and increment. I meant increment it, and basically I start it. I put the timers here, so and then I change the value of buttons over here. So basically, all these levels, level 2, and level 3, and level 4, and level 5, is basically the same thing, what I did. Now, when I go to class 1 is when you win from level 5. It goes, now there's two buttons, uh, play again or quit. If you quit, then it basically exits from the terminal. Um, if you play again, then it goes again and just does the same order again. Class final extends J panel. So class final is basically the same thing, but instead of you won the game, it says game over because you didn't win the game. You like lost. So now it has two buttons: play again and quit, which is the same thing initially. So